Hey guys, back at Farmer Pat here. Today is a very exciting day for me. Guys, we're not in the garden today, as you can tell. We're in my kitchen, and I am gonna show you how I make the most nutritious and delicious morning shake. You guys know, as I go through my garden, I'm always telling you about, I use this all the time in my morning shake, and there's so many things that I have grown right there in my backyard, my 9-month-old backyard, that I can go out and readily eat every morning. So I'm going to show you how I make the most delicious morning shake. If you have a child or if you don't hate your veggies, hate eating greens, I'm going to show you how you can incorporate the most nutritious greens into your shake every morning, and you won't even taste the greens. It's just, all it tastes is deliciousness. So let's get started. I'm going to go show you how I make my morning shake using ingredients from my backyard. Right, so I just went outside and harvested different greens from our garden. I don't normally combine all of them, but I wanted to just show you the different options that there are. I pulled these up because I know a lot of you may already be growing these, so I'm going to show you how I use them. So the choices are, before I start, I just want to let you guys know, if you don't have these items, you can purchase like bagged kale or bagged spinach and from the store, and you can make the shake using kale or spinach or whichever green that you enjoy. The good thing is that these are being eaten raw, so that you're getting the most nutrients and out of them. Okay, so here are the choices I have. My number one choice is my sweet potato vines. First, because these grow abundantly throughout the garden. I mean, once you plant your sweet potato slips, it just takes over the garden. So you never run out of these. If you're in a colder climate where these die back, what I would suggest is before it gets really cold, you can harvest all your fresh sweet potato leaves and freeze them so that you have these leaves all year round. So I have my sweet potato leaves, which here in Florida, I'm going to have them all year round. I haven't gone through a winter with them yet, so I'm not sure how they're going to do in Central Florida. But in South Florida, I always had my sweet potato leaves. Then we have our moringa. Guys, you know moringa is the healthiest source of plant-based food in the world. It has like every mineral, every nutrient your body needs to survive. It grows very easily, very quickly. I grew these from seed. I planted seeds in March, and you guys saw, I don't know if you watch my recent videos after the hurricane, my moringa is like over 8 feet tall. So I just picked some leaves from my moringa. Also have my longevity spinach, which is used to fight diabetes, high cholesterol, like everything, high blood pressure. It helps with everything, and you just need a few leaves of these per day. Also, I have my cranberry hibiscus, guys, and this is delicious, not just in the shake, but it gives the shake a beautiful color, and plus it also can be used as teas. A lot of these things can be used as teas, can be cooked, can be used in salads. Today we're using it as a shake. Then my katuk. How could I forget my katuk? And guys, after the storm, we just went through Hurricane Ian, and after the storm, every branch is loaded with flowers. Look how beautiful that is, guys. Absolutely beautiful. Hold on. Absolutely beautiful flowers. So every branch on my kaya is now loaded with flowers. You can eat the flowers and the leaves and the seeds. So I'm gonna use this. So that is it for my greens. These are the greens that I have grown in my garden right now. Another thing I do is, like, say if I go outside and pick greens and I pick too much to make for the shake, like I did today, this is for demonstration purposes. What I do is I just put it in a Ziploc bag and I freeze it. And I actually love using the frozen one, because then the shake is extra cold and extra good. So that's the first element. I always have some green from my garden. Then these, I always 100% of the times I have ginger, and this is organic ginger. I find it's cheap to get and better for me to get the ginger at BJ's. You get the big box for like $7. And it's, let me show you the size box. One sec. Okay, so this is a box. And I'm using it for a whole bunch of things I just finished harvesting. But this is a box that comes organic ginger. Says 1 pound, 1.75 pounds, and I think it's $7. I think it's under $8. $7 and change. And you get the fresh organic ginger. Also, what I do is whenever I'm planting ginger in the garden, I always use this ginger. I just break it up into pieces, like, 1 piece, 2 pieces. I just break it up into several pieces and plant it. So that's a good idea. I eat the ginger and I also plant some. And I also have turmeric. I always use turmeric. Turmeric is really good for pain and any like inflammation in the body. It's really good. I have lower back pain sometimes and hip pain sometimes. So turmeric is great. And this turmeric is actually from Jamaica. It's a product of Jamaica. So I use my turmeric, and I'm very generous with my ginger, especially with my ginger, but I'm also generous with my turmeric. Another thing I always have in my shake is is frozen bananas. So what I do is whenever my bananas are overripe, like to the point where I don't really want them, like they have a lot of brown spots on them, that's actually when the banana is sweetest, and it's actually when the banana has the most nutrition. But a lot of times we don't like it because it's too soft. So what I do is I freeze my bananas. This adds a really sweet taste to the shake, and also I love the texture. It gives it that creamy, delicious texture. So I always have frozen bananas. You also see some frozen strawberries, and you might see some frozen grapes. What I do the same thing. If the strawberries are at the, my fridge, gotta close my fridge. If the strawberries are at the point where, they're getting a little bit soft and I'm not really enjoying them anymore, I freeze them. I don't waste anything. I freeze my strawberries, and I do the same for my grapes. When they're getting a little bit too soft and I know my kids aren't going to eat them and I'm not going to eat them, I freeze them. So that's my sweet element. Another thing that I used to use 100% of the times is papaya. So in my previous home, if you guys have been following me from the beginning, I can tell you I have the absolute sweetest papaya on earth, anywhere. Thank God now I have seeds from those trees, and I have several papayas growing in the garden that have fruit on them. I haven't gotten any ripe fruit yet, but papaya is true to seed. If you plant the seeds of a sweet papaya, you're going to get a sweet papaya. So I have multiple trees in the garden now, so I'm pretty soon I'm going to have my frozen papaya. What I did, what I will do once my papayas get ripe, is that when the papaya is almost overripe, when the papaya is ripe, I harvest it and I eat it every morning. But sometimes I don't get to the whole thing and it starts getting a little bit overripe. I then put it in cubes, cut it up in cubes, and freeze it, just like I do for my pineapple. This is pineapple that I bought from the store. Was eating it all week. Then it's getting a little bit soft on the soft side. It's very, very sweet. So at this point, I freeze it. But these are the things that are perfect for the shake. Another thing that I love to have in my shake, I don't have it this morning, is most weeks when it's in season, I buy some kind of melon, either watermelons or honeydews or cantaloupe, especially cantaloupe. I like to have that first thing in the morning. So cantaloupe normally ends up in my shake. But for today's video, we're going to have pineapple. We're going to have some ripe bananas and as our sweet elements. So another thing that I do, this is in every one of my shakes. I use a 1/4 cup, or you can use a little bit more if you want, a heaping 1/4 cup of raw old-fashioned oats. I use old-fashioned oats, and I also use flaxseed. There are other things you can use. You can use hemp seeds. You can use other things. I use flaxseed. It's really good for lowering cholesterol, even though I have no cholesterol, but I want to keep it low. And of course, all of these things, every single element that I use in my shake is really healthy, really good for you. If my bananas aren't very sweet or I don't have other fruit, what I sometimes do is add a handful of raisins, sun-dried raisins, just to give it a little bit more sweetness. Another element that I use every morning in my shake is I have 100% organic beet juice. So this is just the Walmart brand. They sell organic beet juice. It's cheaper than buying the name brand. It's still organic, so I use that. I like to use beet juice. Beets have a whole bunch of nutrition in them. If you have real beets, if you have beets growing in your garden, of course you can use the beets from the garden. However, I just buy the organic beet juice. Of course, if I have beets in my garden, I'll use those. Another unexpected element that I sometimes use, I don't use it all the time, is avocado. So like we just went through Hurricane Ian, and my neighbor had a ton of avocados blow down from her garden. So she gave me a few. And while I don't eat the raw avocado a lot, except if I make guacamole or if I have a slice with dinner, I can't really go through a lot of avocado. It's a great idea to cut the avocado up, cut it up like this, freeze it. Then you can pop some avocado in your shake. What that does, it adds a really creamy, delicious element to your shake. Kind of has the same effect as a banana. It gives it that nice creaminess that you enjoy. If you don't like beet juice, which I don't like beet juice to drink but on its own, beet juice actually brings up, it actually ties in very well when you use the fruits and the veggies. Believe me guys, you don't taste the beet. When everything is blended together, all you taste is deliciousness. You can use another fruit juice, but I would be very, very careful with fruit juices. Fruit juices have a lot of sugar, and you really don't want to be adding a lot of sugar. It's better to have the sweetness from the actual fruits that you're adding instead of sugar. So I don't use a whole lot of beet juice, and I'll show you as I go along. What I usually do is I add some milk. Like I use lactate milk. That's the one I use. It doesn't matter which milk, whatever milk you like. You can use almond milk, coconut milk. I use the milk. It's added calcium, even though some of these greens have even more calcium than milk. A lot of these greens have, I think, Moringa has more calcium than milk. Sweet potato vines do, I believe they do, and so does longevity spinach. So while I'm getting my calcium from here, I use either water to stretch it or milk. Today, I'm out of milk, so I'm going to use water, but I'm going to get started now and show you how I combine everything into the most yummy shake that you ever had. All right, so I'm pointing the camera down so you can see what I'm doing. So here's how I layer my shake. So the first thing I do is I add my greens, and today I'm going to use my longevity spinach. So these leaves have already been washed. Put them in here. You know what? I think I'm gonna use a little bit of cranberry hibiscus with it. So here's my cranberry hibiscus. So I add my greens, right? So I have my cranberry hibiscus and my longevity spinach. Usually I use like a handful, like, whatever you're using, you kind of use a handful of leaves. That's about a handful of leaves. Then I drop in my ginger. And as I said, I am very generous with ginger because not just because of the health benefits, but I like to feel that kick in the morning. So this is a very big chunk of ginger. Turmeric, I'm going to break this in half. So I'm going to use half of this turmeric. As you guys can see, I don't peel my ginger or turmeric. If there's any black parts on it, I'll scrape it off. But usually I just give my ginger and turmeric a good wash just to save time. So I'm going to put this piece in like this. You can scrape it a little bit, but it's really not necessary. When it blends together, you're not going to taste it. So I put my ginger, my turmeric in. Then I'm going to add my banana, because I always want to make sure I have space for my banana. Put my banana in there. And then I'm going to put a couple pieces of this pineapple. Because you can see, this is actually, what is this? This is my NutriBullet, right? So far this is what we have. Couple chunks of pineapple, one ripe banana, and some greens at the bottom. So now I'm gonna put in my oatmeal and my flaxseed because I want to make sure I get that in. So I put all the must-haves in first, and then, you know, the last thing I'm gonna do is the liquid. So this is a quarter cup measuring cup, quarter cup of oats, raw oats. And for the flaxseed not only has nutrition, but it actually thickens it up, so it gives it that nice shake texture. I just shake some in, maybe let's say a tablespoon of flaxseed. We don't want to put too much of flaxseed in because it can actually make it so thick that it just makes it so thick you can barely even drink it through a straw. Then I'm gonna add a little bit of raisins this time, and maybe a tablespoon of raisins. Not a whole lot of raisins. I'm not gonna add any grapes this time. So far, this is what we have. You can see there's a lot of space in here. All right. Then what I'm gonna do is, let's see what's next. I'm gonna add a little of my juice. So far I have everything that I needed for today's shake. I'm gonna put maybe a couple inches of beet juice. You can see it's all the way down here. Yeah. So I'm not filling it up all the way up of beet juice. If you love the taste of beet juice, you can put it all the way up. Beet juice isn't the cheapest thing. It's probably like $4 or $5. So by using it like this and then filling it up with milk, I kind of save a little money that way. So this is it. And then I'm gonna fill this up with water. As I said, if I had my milk, I would fill it up with milk, but I don't have my milk, so I'm gonna fill it up the rest of the way with water. So I'm a couple inches from the top. On these blenders, it usually has a line, a max line. The max line is actually here. So I'm gonna probably just put it this much with water and then blend it up so it doesn't overflow. Okay, I ended up putting 3 grapes in just for good measure. All right, so it's up, I fill it up with water to here. So it's right below the max line, and I'm gonna go ahead and blend this. Make sure it's tight so it doesn't overflow. All right, so here it is. This is my shake, and let's taste it. Hey, an idea, if you say you don't have any frozen vegetables or frozen bananas or frozen fruits, what you can do is instead of adding, you can add ice water, or you can add ice, a lot of ice in it, and half the water. That way, when you blend it up, it'll be nice and cold. Because the frozen bananas or frozen pineapple or frozen fruits really makes it nice and cold and yummy. All right, so let's see how this tastes. Let's see what this tastes like. So guys, this is hidden veggies, hidden nutrition. Let's try it. Delicious. You can really taste the kick of that ginger. Guys. Because of the oats and the flaxseed, when I drink this in the morning, it keeps me full till after 12. You can see I have a full glass and I still have this much. I usually drink the whole thing. But, you know, if you want to share with someone else, you can actually share. And the good thing about this, guys, all these greens came from my backyard. These greens by themselves are so much more nutritious than anything you can buy in the store. Did you know that, you know, like the spinach that you buy in the store or whatever you buy in the store, once it leaves the farm, it goes through so much to get to the supermarket that it loses like 30% of the nutrition. But here, I'm literally going outside, picking it, and it's going straight into my cup within 10-15 minutes. So this is the ultimate nutrition. Guys, if I can do it, you can do it too. Please let me know if you have other ideas of their other shakes that you love. Please let me know below what your favorite shake is, or if there's something else in the garden that you use. Oh, there's one thing I didn't mention that can be used. So this is something I just found out. I haven't tried it yet, so I'm not advertising this, but This is my passion fruit leaf. And I learned recently that in some countries, especially across Asia, you'll see thousands of passion fruit just on the ground because they don't even eat the passion fruit. They use the leaves. The leaves have a lot of nutrition in it, and the new leaves cause like a calming effect. They use it for like teas. They make it in teas, they blend it, they juice it, they cook it with it, they eat it. As a matter of fact, let me see what it tastes like. Wow, not bad. Wow, that's my first time trying it. So not bad. So they make this into teas, they juice it, they cook with it, they actually have meals out of it. So guys, you've seen my passion fruit. My passion fruit is covered. So you know I'm gonna be harvesting some of these leaves and adding these to my shake also. I totally forgot about it. I actually brought it inside and I forgot. But I'm gonna try that probably another morning. I don't like combining too many things together, especially since some of these that I use, like the Katuk, is extremely powerful. It's not something that you just want to eat a whole bunch all the time every day. So I have to be very careful how I mix these because these are just very powerful, nutritious, but very powerful medicinals that I'm using. Anyway, that's it for today's video. It was supposed to be a quick video. I know it went a little bit long. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you guys try one of these shakes. If you tried it and you like it, please drop a comment below and let me know. If you enjoy my videos, please share them with other friends who are on the journey of growing their own food and getting healthy. Let's do it together, guys. Till next time. Bye now.